everyone. Give me a hello. Let me know that you can hear me in the chat. Let's see here. Whoops. Let's see here. Get everything all set up. Looks like there is 2 of us here so far, which is fine. Totally good. We're going to probably make this one a quick one. Trying to figure out where I can see the chat part on my phone, but I can't figure it out. So we will, okay, we are live. All right, so I came up with a new pocket hug design because we're in the final push before Valentine's Day. That was the goal. So it's 2-sided. So one side, it looks like mail, has the to you from me with a little stamp. And then on this side, it has the pocket hug. So that's what we're going to work on today. I'm not going to stay on too long today because it's Super Bowl Sunday. We got a little bit of cleaning to do. We got a little bit of food to prep and all of that fun stuff. So basically we're going to use Liquitex gesso, white paint, red paint pen, glitter paint. It's pretty simple. Posca PC1 MRs. So let me know if you guys can hear me. There we go. All right, we got people in the chat. So looks like somebody's here from Connecticut. Welcome, Susan. That's awesome. Let me, all right. So basically, let me find a brush here. I'm going to start with my soapstone pencil and line these things out. And hopefully the focus is not going to go in and out and drive you guys crazy here. I tried a different angle with my phone this morning. I just wanted to be quick and easy. So I turned my phone on. I am very close to getting my other live stream, the full setup over on my new desk done. So I'm just going to do rectangles on both sides of the rocks. And I brought 2 rocks over because I figure one's going to have to dry while I'm working on another. So that's what we'll do, is we'll do 2 of them today. And then next live stream, who knows what we'll do. But I'm just, for now, going to get my shapes down here so that I can fill them in with the gesso. I should have added a poll to the front of this, to the live stream, to ask who you're cheering for the Super Bowl. So if you're here, let us know who you're cheering for today if you're watching the game. I have a perfect view of the TV from my rock painting area, so I may or may not paint some rocks during the game too. So we'll see. So we got Connecticut, Massachusetts. That's amazing. You guys are way on the other side of the country for me. So today we will be cheering for, well, I shouldn't speak for everybody. I will be cheering for the Seattle Seahawks. That's my pick for today. So we'll see what happens. See how the commercials go, all the fun stuff. Oh, you're watching from Portugal. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Welcome. That is so cool. Okay, so right now I'm doing gesso as a base coat. You can use white paint if you need to. That works just as well. And this rock is a perfect example of why I use gesso. It's super duper smooth and it's almost slick. So if you go to put acrylic paint right on here, it's just a fun little experiment, because the rock is so smooth that your first coat is almost always just a loss. It doesn't give very good coverage. The paint slides around. So gesso gives it a little bit of grip. It kind of dries with a little bit of a rough, I don't even know if rough is a fair description, but it's a little bit rougher than like smooth acrylic paint. So I'm going to set this behind me in my fan, and we'll just kind of keep switching back and forth. Morning, Mary Jane. Got another Seahawks fan there. All right. I feel like we are kind of agnostic football fans. We don't have any diehard teams. If the 49ers had made it, that would have been who we'd cheer for, because that's the closest team to us, and a lot of people in our area are 49er fans. So if they had made it, that would have been the team to cheer for us. We have the Raiders in Southern Nevada, but I just never have been a big Raider fan. And we just don't, like, we understand football. We're not football illiterate. Like a good game. My husband played in high school. I went to all my high school football games. Like, I get the game. We just don't have a team that we're like diehard fans of. So, hi from Vermont. We got lots of East Coasters here this morning. That's awesome. So the nice thing about gesso too is it dries pretty quickly. So I'm going to flip this over because we're going to be working both sides of the rock. So this is a little unusual, this design, in that I am much less concerned about writing on the back about, you know, my local rock group or tagging me. I just kind of want to put these out. So I am doing the two-sided design, and I'm less concerned about writing the usual stuff on the back. Although keep or rehide might have been good, but I'm just going to take a chance and put these out in the world. So gesso coat number 2. And this is also a place where if like these, this square brush is very handy for straight lines. And if my soapstone pencil wasn't super straight, sometimes you can kind of drag this brush across and make it nice and straight like you want. Oh, so you've got, Betsy's got, your family is made up of both coasts, so you're kind of agnostic as to whoever wins too. So you're watching for the commercials and the good food, if you watch. Just perfectly acceptable. I saw something yesterday. It was a video somebody made that they were saying, they were like pitching that they should change the Super Bowl to make it not a Sunday, but a Saturday, because I think there's a statistic that the Monday after the Super Bowl is one of the highest call out days for jobs. Like people call in sick, either because they overdid it with alcohol or just don't want to go into work. I don't know. So this guy was saying, like, just change it to Saturday, and then most people don't have to worry about that Monday work thing. So that means they would spend more on food and, you know, or if they went somewhere to watch it. And it was kind of an interesting take on it from like an economic perspective, but because I know for us, I guess it's over sooner for people on the East Coast, but for us, it's pretty much bedtime for the kids by the time it's over usually. So that would be a plus to have it on I wouldn't mind it on a Saturday at all. Okay, let me switch this to the fan. I also might, good morning, latest 53. I'm going to do 2 coats of gesso on these because I kind of want to get the really good coverage so that I only have to do 1 coat of the white. And since gesso is white, it's kind of doing the work for me. So I'm going to do the 2 coats of gesso and then come back through, and the 3rd coat will be white and hopefully the last one. I don't remember what I did yesterday when I made these little guys. That's the plan, because this does it dries fairly quickly. So I can get it on here and then cover with white paint. Hello from Florida. More other side of the country. That's awesome. And it's probably way warmer. Although we have had some very warm weather here for the last, I feel like 2 weeks. We hit 60s this week, which is really unusual for this time of year. While the rest of the country is getting pelted in snow. We've had a really dry year, so the skiers aren't very happy up in Tahoe. But we're supposed to have a storm coming through. I think it might even start rolling in today, but all this week we have, I think, 2 storm fronts. So we're all hoping to get some snow, at least up in the mountains, even if it doesn't get down to us on the valley floor. Hopefully up in the mountains. But we'll see how that goes. All right, so there's a coat of gesso, 2nd coat. Good morning, Cabela. It's awesome that everybody's here. And I guess if you haven't been here before and you don't know why we're doing these, January was full of some a lot of heavy news. And there were a handful of rock painter friends, I guess. I'm going to call them friends. They're my friends. They're from different states, different places all over, but I know them only through the internet. Oh my gosh, 0 degrees. Holy moly, it's cold where you are. And we thought, let's paint some pocket hugs. Let's make a pocket hug challenge as a way to spread positivity until Valentine's Day. So we've been kind of pushing this, not pushing it, but promoting it on social media. And so we've done a couple live streams with different designs. And so I thought, since this is the last weekend before Valentine's Day, let's get a last minute little design that's kind of Valentine's themed out there so that people can make some pocket hugs before Valentine's Day. Holy moly, -5 with a wind chill, and it feels like -35. That is crazy. I hope you are staying warm. I can remember it being below 0 when I was a kid here. The winters are definitely not what they were when I was a kid, but I do remember it being below 0. And I remember it was a Christmas morning, and we had horses, so you had to go out and break the ice in their water troughs. And my dad went out and did it, and he came back in and he showed me that the water had splashed up on his glasses and it immediately froze on the lenses of his glasses. But I don't think it was like -5. I don't know how far below 0 we would ever get, but I don't think it was like the Midwest. But it was so funny that it froze immediately and it didn't melt off by the time he, got inside the house where it was warm and stuff. But that was crazy. So, okay. So we have 2 coats of gesso on everything. So I'm going to close up the gesso, set that aside. I'm going to grab some white paint and see if this other one is ready to start. My nose is super runny today. I have like February allergies apparently. All right, so white paint, and we're just gonna fill in our envelope. This should kind of fill in some of those lines that you see from the brush. See how there's some brush lines in there from the gesso, and give it a little bit more of a smooth finish. So white envelopes. Hopefully this design is nice and easy. I also posted a teddy bear design yesterday, a long form tutorial, so not the quick vertical shorts, but a Valentine teddy bear design that is really cute and very simple too. If you need any Valentine ideas. Oh, cool. So one of you, let's see, who are you? Susan. Susan did the pocket hugs with the heart as the body. I think that was the original design. I did that one years ago and made a video about it, and then I kind of resurrected it for these pocket hugs, and people just really took off with that one. So it is a fun one. You can kind of make fun little hair for them and all of that. All right. So we'll add white paint. Are you guys doing any big pushes to hide Valentine rocks this week? Or for kids? Hello, good morning. Oh, from Italy. That is so cool. Oh my gosh, we have people from all over the world. That is nuts. We have 37 people here. I think that might be the most I've ever had on a live stream. That's awesome. So there's definitely a difference with these vertical live streams, I've noticed, when I just turn my phone on, and I think it's because it hits. I think YouTube posts it in the shorts feed where you see those vertical videos. So I'm wondering if it gets more promotion, I guess, from YouTube, and it catches more of you to pull you in. I try and post ahead of time so that everybody knows when to join, and I didn't do a very good job yesterday because this went out in the afternoon, so I didn't do the greatest job of getting it out sooner, but yeah, that's awesome. 8:36. We just have a whole bunch of people here today. Super awesome. And it looks like I may end up doing 2 coats of white because that last one didn't give it the coverage that I wanted, but we'll see. I do want to make sure that I didn't want to put too many coats because I wanted it to be dry before I come in with the Posca pen so that I don't mess up the white paint with that if it's not fully dry. But we'll just keep going back and forth. We'll see how we do. Yeah, you can see that could use another coat, or it could go. I could not be a perfectionist about it also. That might help. I have not done very many Valentine's rocks this year, so I'm thinking maybe I will do some of those during the game, and maybe there's a daughter of someone from work that has been a rock fan when she found my little bucket at work, so I was going to make her, she likes the ladybug rock, so I was going to make her a love bug for Valentine's Day. So that I have to do. And then I have that magnetic gel polish. I finally got some, and I got red magnetic gel polish. I'll give you guys a sneak peek really quick. I was playing with it, but I want to do a video to show you guys. So I got some new magnets that also make hearts. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? It makes a heart. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen this on nails, but it's magnetic polish, and the magnet is like a little, it looks like a little Y, and you just hold it up over here and it makes the heart. So I want to do a tutorial on that to show you guys, but I just thought that was the coolest. It's fun. It's fun to play with. And it worked a little better than the, what was the other one was just regular nail polish. The one that I did the Galaxy rock with. I'm going to shake this up and get a little bit more out. The Galaxy rock was just regular nail polish, so you have to let it dry, just like regular nail polish. So I tried it with this heart thing, and it didn't work as well. But the gel polish, the nice thing about it is you get the magnet there and do what you're going to do with it, and then immediately put it in the UV light, and it cures it. So it kind of freezes it immediately, where the other one you'd have to sit there and wait for it to dry. It's literally waiting for paint to dry. So I think the gel polish has an advantage in that sense. So I want to get that out before Valentine's Day just because it's red and there's hearts and it's fun. But I got a little, excuse me, a little set of magnets that one of them is really thin, like a pencil, so you can make like very intricate, like thin little magnet-y designs in there. And then there's one that's kind of a big ball that goes on top, and then just a regular magnet. So I'm going to play around with those a little bit. And Valentine's Day is the perfect time to hide them, so I got to get to it. Okay. All right here. I'm sure February is going to fly by as quickly as January did because it's a short month. And did you guys see on the calendar? It's literally like a perfect month. It started on a Sunday and it ends, I think, on a Saturday. Like it's the days are just arranged perfectly. It's crazy. Hi, Sherry. Welcome. All right. Oh, that looks crooked. Crooked. Not awake yet. Got a crooked envelope here, which also I can kind of fix with the, I'm not too worried about that because I can kind of fix it with the Posca pen when I come back through, but we'll give it a little bit of paint to even it out. All right. I feel like this might be the most boring live stream ever because you guys are just watching me paint white paint onto things. Okay. Last little bit of white to cover up our brush marks. Another trick we could have done that I didn't do is I could have mixed gesso with the white paint. I've done that before to give the paint a little bit more grip and full coverage. I've done that with like red for the base coat part and then covered it with the actual paint. But it kind of mixes with and gives it a good coverage. It helps the paint, I like to think. And that would have worked really well with this since it's the same color. But I always try and do the actual paint as the last coat because it's smoother. Because gesso has that rough, kind of rough finish to it. The acrylic paint is better to write over with the paint pens or that kind of thing. So just get these final little coats on. And then, I already do this one. That one looks practically okay, actually. I want to make sure they're dry enough. That's part of my problem. So we may go, I'm going to put a little bit more on this. We may go a little bit out of order of the way I painted these other ones originally. Just to give this a chance to fully dry. So what we're going to do is I added these fun little dotted lines kind of to show that it's traveling. The pocket hug is traveling. So we'll grab this is a Posca, focus, come on camera, focus. A PC1MR paint pen. This is a new one, so it works really well, but you can see the tip on these is just the best for writing and stuff. So we will, let me cap off my white paint so it doesn't dry up. And then let's add those little dotted lines before we start adding the detail. And I literally just kind of turned the rock and went around it in sort of a traveling squiggle. And this will actually work quite nicely because then the black outline can cover up where the little white dots are coming out of the envelope. Words. What are words? Okay, so there we have some dots. Oh, and smudged. Yay me. I'll fix that. Okay, smudged a little bit. Put that back under the fan. We've got a little smudge here. Not the end of the world. We'll put some traveling dots. Maybe what I should do is do, well, I don't know, I'm thinking out loud here. There's traveling dots. Sorry, I'm blocking your guys' view with my big old hand. Okay, so there's that. Let me put that in the fan. And then I think, since those are drying, before we go much further, let me plug in, we'll fix those little flubby dubs. So this is my nail drill that is like magic for, it's kind of like an eraser. It's like a magic eraser. So for stuff like this right here where it kind of came over, I can just very lightly, I can control the speed of this, but I can very lightly erase it and just kind of sand it off just by touching the drill there, and it's gone. And we don't have too much more of that, so that one's okay. This one had a bigger flub-a-dub right here. So I can just take it and sand it off like that. And it's all gone. Perfect. Isn't that cool? Loving the Italian comment. Did I miss some Italian comments? I do love that. I think YouTube has upped their game in that they have, they're doing a lot better with like translating things. for us. So like a lot of my videos now, I guess it auto dubs my voice into different languages, so it helps it reach an audience that's further away, which is really cool. Because I couldn't do that. There are services. People used to pay to have that done, and I think they would even create whole other channels. So like you'd have a Jessica Rocks Spanish or something like that. But I am one person who has a day job, and it just was out of my reach. But now I think it started with the captions where it would translate the captions, and now I think it just auto dubs my voice into the other languages. So I'm so glad that if you don't speak English, you can still listen, which is really cool. I think it increases the global audience, which is just kind of neat for something like this, because it spreads kindness. And some of those videos, the first pocket hug one, that one with the little heart body, kind of went viral. It had a lot of views, and I think it went really wide. And so it was interesting to come across. I think it showed it to a lot of people that didn't know what kindness rocks are, which was really neat, because you forget when you're surrounded by people that do know. But it went really wide, and then just hearing people like, oh, I want to do this. This is so cool. It was neat to see those kind of reactions out of people. All right, so we're just going around the bend with the Posca PC1MR. So this is the black version of the white pen we'd used for the dotted lines. I'm just going to go around till we have an outline, and it dries pretty quickly. And it just rolls so smooth. It doesn't have a roller ball, but it just has a very unique tip that's different than other paint pens, and it doesn't splatter. Sometimes those really fine pointed ones, when you do lines like this, it'll splatter when you go over. Even the smoothest of rocks still have some texture to them, and you hit a little bit of the texture of it and it'll splatter, and these don't do that. So that's super awesome. So I'm going to decide which side of this. I think this is going to be my to and from. So I'm going to write me up here, because this is where the return address usually goes. It's from me, and it's to you. And then I'm going to take my red Thule Art. This is one of those that's got kind of a fine point on it. They can splatter, but Thule Art is my next favorite thing. These Poscas are kind of the only Poscas that I use anymore, because I really like the Thule Art pens. I think they're really great at always improving. They include extra nibs. They're affordable. And then I'm going to take this guy. I didn't do this on the other ones. I used the Posca PC1MR to do the stamp, but and then I used this one to do the cancellation marks. But I think I'm going to use this one to try and do the stamp to get a little bit finer of a line to make those scallops. So I'm going to go, oh yeah, this is way better. Make those stampy scallops. Whoops. This. Probably should have drawn it first and then the heart, so that the heart was centered, but that's okay. And then for the cancellation, we're just going to make some wavy lines so it looks like a letter. So that's that to start. And let's see. We'll do this one. So let's, since we have this pen out, we'll do our stamp first with our scallops, and then we can center everything else a little better around our stamp. Like that. Okay. Just a fun little letter. Like we're sending, it's got something on it, a pocket hug in the mail. All the way across the world to the people that are internationally with us. Okay, and then we can center our writing a little bit easier. Also, So from me, and then I can move the 2 down a little bit here. Like that. Ooh, I like that one better. I like how it's centered. Okay, then let's swap it and flip it, and we're gonna make the envelope. And this part is super duper easy. So we're gonna start with the top flap and kind of go down. It's gonna travel down a little bit further than the center. Like that. Oop, that paint's a little wet. And I'm not gonna go all the way in because the heart's gonna fill in there. So, and then this one can come up from the corner and kind of go under the flap. So our heart will be our last thing, kind of like a heart sticker, like we've got here. And these aren't as centered as what I did. So you're getting the quality improvement on the second round of these. Okay, so let's do our upper flap. You know, it would be really funny as if I flipped these wrong and then we had upside down envelopes. That would be really funny. We'll go up and up. Okay, so we have the backs of our envelopes almost complete. And then I just want to make sure that this is dry. I'm going to put this in front of the fan for a second because we're going to put red paint or the red paint pen over it, and I don't want it to smear the black. So we're going to put a red heart, and then you can see on these other ones I did the red glitter on the sticker. I didn't do it on the stamp, just the sticker, but you could do it in both places if you wanted. You could also change the color of the hearts. Oh, how funny. Would the USPS actually deliver these rocks if they had proper postage? I've heard of people mailing potatoes covered in stamps before. I've never heard of that. So I have mailed rocks, but never loose like this. They've always been in like a padded envelope or a box. And rocks are heavy, so the postage can be kind of nuts. So my favorite thing is to use those flat rate, I don't think I have any over here, but like flat rate boxes or flat rate envelopes, because you can kind of put as much as you can in there. Hello, Truth Brown. So yeah, I have never heard of that. I'm gonna have to Google that now because that is crazy. I've never heard of that. So I've never tried. I don't have an answer for you. But that is really interesting. I feel like they might not like that because it's not, I don't know, potatoes. And wouldn't potatoes get rotten? Or I guess maybe not before they arrive at their destination. I don't know. That just seems, potatoes don't seem solid enough to survive the process, I guess, is what I'm thinking. That's so funny. What a kick. I wonder why. I wonder if people did that just to try it and see if it would work. Was that the point? Let's just try and mail a potato and see what happens. Oops. That is so funny. I'm just going to dab a little bit of extra red where there was black so that we have coverage there. And then the glitter paint will cover it up too. So we have these little guys. And then I'm going to take a dotting tool. Well, actually, let's let these dry. We want the red paint to be dry before we put the glitter paint on. But I put glitter paint on with a dotting tool. If you're new here, I have done this for a long time. I do it with a brush sometimes, but most of the time I do it with a dotting tool because it gets it on nice and thick. And for shapes like a heart, you can easily just kind of dot, and then you just kind of drag it and fill it in. So hearts are easy to do with the glitter paint. So, whoopsies. Oh, I got a little string of glitter in there. Need to clean out my paint tops a little bit. And then let's pull our little guys. They're dry enough. And we'll take the glitter paint and just kind of dab it on and then work it around the shape of the heart. Like this. Very easy, and then you just let it dry and it's on there nice and thick. So there'll be a nice little sparkle when it dries. See how easy that was? It's on there. I didn't bother outlining these. You could if you wanted to. They're so small that I just didn't do it. But if it was larger, I might consider outlining them. But for now, I think the shape is pretty clear and the sparkle will give it enough noticeability. And we've covered everything up like that. I wonder, you know what? Let's add something to the rocks that I did yesterday. We'll add the glitter to the stamp too. Ones we did today won't dry quickly enough for me to flip them over just yet, but we'll add it to yesterday's stamps. All right, you guys, we did it. We made 2 pocket hugs on the morning of Super Bowl Sunday. And we are, look at that, pocket hugs for the win. And we can now take these and put them out into the world. And oh my gosh, we're not done. Duh, we are not done because we didn't write pocket hugs on these. This is what you get when you get me before coffee. The other thing I was thinking of that would be cute, maybe instead of the glitter paint, is a metallic red. I have this one. I brought it over and completely forgot to use it, so that's an option if you've got it. Okay, we forgot the most important part. So I'm just going to write pocket hug on here on the 2 big spaces of our envelope. Oh, that U is kind of funny looking. That's okay though. Try and get out of your view a bit so you can see. See the writing going on. There. Now we did the pocket hugs. My goodness. Time for coffee. There we go. There's what we've got. Pocket hugs for the world to make it a better place, right? So thank you guys for coming to hang out with me this morning. Oh, okay. So we did get a little answer about the potatoes and the rocks. If you end up trying to include your return address, they'll have to deal with it either way. I couldn't see a mail carrier just tossing a work of art like these. You'd be surprised. People do toss them. That was something that kind of came up this week in that post that I made about the unpopular opinion about rock painting. Some people don't think the world of this the way we do. They just don't, and that's okay. But I have had that happen one time accidentally because I didn't know when I was very new to it that you weren't supposed to hide them in like state parks, national parks, and I took them to Lake Tahoe, and the ranger, I don't think they threw them away, but she picked them up and didn't let them stay there for people to find. And then I'm an admin of our local rock group, and we had someone send us a very nasty message about that she had found one on the trail and immediately put it in the trash because it's graffiti and littering. And so I tend not to leave them, definitely not in state or national parks because they ask us not to. But even on trails, I'm kind of careful. I tend to go more for parks where there are like picnic tables but I won't so much put it on like a walking trail unless there's like a bridge that has wood railings or something that they can be put on, because I have run into that where people are not very happy about them and consider them litter, so they will throw them away sometimes. But anyways, I'm going to sign off because I need to go start a load of laundry and do a little bit of cleaning because Grandma's coming for the Super Bowl and I want to pick up the house a little bit. So thank you guys for hanging out with me this morning, and keep your eyes peeled for that magnetic polish video. I'm going to try and get that out early this week. Maybe we'll have a tutorial Tuesday. I used to release all my videos on Tuesdays, and I haven't done it in a long time, but maybe I'll get it out by Tuesday. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll do it again soon. Everybody take care and have a great weekend, and go Seahawks.